Now that 12 jurors have been selected, prosecutors and Donald Trump's defense team will make opening statements Monday in the criminal hush money trial against the former U.S. president in Manhattan, New York. He faces 34 felony counts for his alleged role in trying to hide hush money payments to women who claim to have had extramarital affairs with him before the 2016 presidential election. Trump, who is also the presumptive Republican presidential nominee for this year's general election, has been adamant in denying the charges.
This is a giant witch hunt to try and hurt a campaign that's beating the worst president in history. Biden's the worst president in the history of our country, beating him by a lot. And this is the only way they think they can win, but it's not going to work.
Bad weather conditions forced Trump to cancel a weekend rally in North Carolina. On Saturday, he took to his Truth Social platform to argue why he should be granted presidential immunity in a separate federal election interference case. Oral arguments will be heard by the Supreme Court on April 25th in that case. Some Democratic voters watching closely could become energized, analysts say.
As for voters watching this, has less to do with Donald Trump supporters because many of them do have an authoritarian streak and many of them would like him to be able to do whatever he can as president. Biden has made the case that you can't put somebody back into office who's a real threat to democracy to do anything they want.
U.S. President Joe Biden, who is running for re-election, continues to abstain from mentioning his rival's legal challenges. On Friday, he directed his political messaging to the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers in D.C.
My predecessor rolled back protection for American workers. He opposed increases in federal minimum wage, and he was proud, very proud of his $2 trillion tax cut when he was president that overwhelmingly benefited the wealthy and created the biggest corporations and exploded the federal debt.
Union workers are increasingly one of the swing groups that both presidential candidates need to win over, says Associate Professor of Government at Georgetown University, Hans Noel.
The Democratic Party is the party that's been, supporting your causes in the past, is a thing that they need to be reminded of if Biden wants their votes. Meanwhile, Trump is also going after that same demographic with a slightly different message, a message about immigration, about culture.
Trump must attend his criminal hush money trial in person this coming week. The next campaign rally, as advertised on his campaign website, won't be until May 11 in Wildwood, New Jersey. Biden's campaign told VOA that the president will give remarks in Tampa, Florida on Tuesday, focusing on the high-stakes issue of the 2024 election, reproductive freedom across the country. Veronica, Balderas, Iglesias, VOA News, Washington.